Really, if sometimes I think to myself that when I meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when people meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will question them, right? He will ask them what did you do and so on and right, wrong. When I meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with all due respect, I will ask Him. And I will ask Him, I will say, why me? Meaning that in my whole life, to me, is a series of miracles. Series of miracles, mu'jizat. Series of miracles. Because the kind of people Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala caused me to meet at different stages of my life. And how those people went out of the way to help me. It's incredible. I have no reason. I do not deserve any of that. Those people gained literally nothing from me. I was always a very, very good student or mentee of whoever mentored me. That much I'll tell you. No mentor of mine ever had to wait for me. No mentor of mine ever had to complain about anything. I was always early. To this day, I'm never late. I always take notes, all of this stuff. But what they gave me is something which I cannot possibly describe. People, and amazing people. My mentors were in Hyderabad nobility. They were among the noblemen of Hyderabad and women. People who taught me, including physics. For example, some people who taught me horse riding. Right, one of the big Nawabs of Hyderabad. He taught me how to ride a horse. For what? I'm not related to him, nothing. Right? I was just a friend of his son's, and I used to hang out there, and that's how I learned. So many things like this, which I learned from people, and then also I learned by observing very closely. I think two things: asking questions very respectfully and observing very closely. And clearly, like how do you eat? How do you drink? When somebody meets somebody else, how are they meeting? When they are in a particular kind of company, how do they behave? All of this, just listening and watching. So this is something from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I learned. The other thing also I learned was that I listen very carefully to people, especially people who give me feedback. I listen very carefully to them. I appreciate people who give me critical feedback. That sounds maybe dumb, but it's not. I don't go seeking for, I don't say, please tell me something bad about, no, I don't do that. People will tell you without asking. But when somebody tells you, like just yesterday somebody told me, something which, one of my very good friends, he told me, I think you have reached your peak. Right? He told me this to my face. Now, to me, I find this very motivating.
Okay.
And you might say, well, people get discouraged. I don't get. I get hugely motivated when somebody tells me something like this. That I think you have reached your peak. Because then the thing to me was, okay, I'm going to show you.
Oh, okay. I like it. I like the mindset.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to show you. I will write down the date and the space and the point and the time at which you told me I have reached my peak, and I'm going to come back to you 5 years from now. And then I will show you what's the peak. So I get very motivated when somebody gives me this kind of feedback. Many people say, oh, how discouraging. No, I find it very encouraging. So it's a question of attitude. How do you learn from situations which many people might find adverse? Everything is value neutral in life. This is what I see here. Everything is value neutral. How it affects you is what you decide. So the power is in your hands. It's like the remote control. Take it. People give away the remote control to somebody else. It's, he made me. How can anybody make you feel anything? Your feelings are your feelings. Nobody can make you feel sad, glad, bad, mad. It's up to you, right? What you want to do. If somebody says something, I choose to be affected by that, negatively or positively. Why would I choose to be affected negatively? I've got no reason. I would always want to be affected positively, and that is always possible. No matter what somebody is saying or doing. I'm not talking about somebody physically assaulting you. That's a different thing. Hopefully that won't happen. And learn to fight if that happens. But the point is that, other than that, they can only say something. Treat it, the way you take it, alhamdulillah. So, that's I think, I don't know if that answers your question, but that's...
Yeah, I have some follow-up questions.
Okay.
I have one question, but before that I will ask this question. You said that you choose what you want to take from that. How will you say you were like this, like taking everything positive, or the things that spark you to do the greater things? You were like this since the beginning, or there was a phase of life then you become like that?
That's a good question. I don't know if I can put any particular date or time on that, but I think, right at the beginning when I was growing up, when I was in school, I was very, very self-conscious. I was very shy, I was very self-conscious. There was a time when I went through a phase where I was very, very low self-confidence, very low self-confidence. I don't think I ever fell into depression or despair or anything, but definitely very low self-confidence. And then it all started coming up. I had a very, very wonderful mentor at that time. I used to call her Auntie Mohini Rajan, who really helped me enormously in building that confidence. And I had another mentor who was her younger brother, whose name was Raja Venkatrama Reddy, with whom I used to spend all my summer and winter holidays. I would spend there. He had a house on the bank of a river in the middle of the forest in India, in Satpura, and I would go and spend the whole of summer and the whole of winter there. That house had no electricity, it had no running water, right? It was just a house. So I lived for months there. No power, you rise up with the sun, you sleep with the sun.
Okay.
Yeah. And you had one kerosene lantern that would be there just to give you some light, that's it. Otherwise the moonlight, if there's moon. If there's no moonlight, a little bit of kerosene lantern. Thoroughly, I have lived in the forest and enjoyed nature like nobody's business. So I think this period is what built my confidence. And then as soon as I finished my college, my bachelor's, I went off to Guyana, South America. And I lived there in the middle of the Amazonian rainforest for 5 years. I ran a mining town. So today when people who are 21, 22 years old and they say, oh, but I can't go here, I can't go there, and then they have. I say when I was 22 years, I was running a town.
Okay.
So you're telling me. So sorry, I'm not impressed.
Yeah.
So I lived that, and that I think really gave me enormous confidence, because it was like I got dumped into the middle of the sea. So I had to learn to swim. And there was nobody else. So I did. Yeah.